Welcome to the Greenlight Investor for the week ending June 12th, 2015. The goal of the Greenlight Investor is to provide a resource to make managing your 401k both a simple and easy process. We do this by using red, green, and yellow cells to help you decide when to buy, what to buy, and when to sell. This presentation is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as personal investment advice. The examples shown are exactly that. They're examples of how you can use this worksheet to help make investment choices within your 401k. Please refer to your own investment policy to make sure that your choices are appropriate for both your investment time horizon as well as your understanding and acceptance for taking risks in the market. Let's go ahead and go right into our worksheet. On the left side, you'll see that we highlight the investment choices. They have the fund number, the symbol, the fund name, and a description of the fund. In the center, we have the performance, and this shows the closing price each week, the month-to-date return, the quarter-to-date return, and the year-to-date return. And finally, on the left or on the right side of this column, we see the current weekly trends. This is unique to this worksheet, and this is what we use to help you manage your 401k choices. This is a relative strength trend scoring system. And the way that works is when you have a positive trend in some of the markets or some of the fund choices, you'll see green lights on the right side of column V. When you see red lights, you're generally in a negative environment or a negative trending environment. You'll also have numerical values in the cells. When the numerical values are going down, as is the case here, then that generally means that the trend is performing or underperforming the market and generally trending down. When you see green cells and the numbers are increasing, as you see here, and those are generally strong funds to be in and are outperforming the overall market. That's how we use the red, green, and yellow cells to make choices within your 401k. Column V is an important column because it shows the week-over-week trend scores. When you see a red highlight in the cell, that means that that fund has performed week-over-week trends. And when you see a green cell that's highlighted, that means that that's been one of the stronger performing funds on a week-over-week basis. And finally, one of the really important cells we use to decide whether or not you should stay in a fund is when you look down column U, that shows the long-term trend for each of the columns. We generally like to make sure that the funds that we're invested in are showing green or possibly yellow lights. When we see a red light appear in column U, we're going to look to put money from those funds back to a money market, or we'll allocate it to another fund that is showing a green cell to the left, as well as a green cell with a strong relative strength to the right. That said, we can see that on a week-over-week basis, we're still seeing a lot of red, continuing from June 5th to June 12th. Most of these cells are staying or continuing to be red, and we're actually seeing some of these increase the number of red cells that are shown. So the market's still stalling out. And finally, let's see how we can use this worksheet to manage our individual 401k choices. If you go to the left column and click on My Current Asset Allocation, click Show, the current allocation will show up. We'll have the amount that we set as a target allocation, and then next to the fund we'll show the percentage that we're actually allocating to the particular funds in each category. As you go down, you can see how this works. And finally, in order to decide if there's any action to be taken on any of your funds, you'll simply use the slider and move the spreadsheet over so that you can look right next to your fund choices. Here you'll see that the year-to-date return is 4.03 for this fund. And most importantly, you'll see that there's a green light to the left of column V and a green light to the right, so there's no action to be taken. Here's one of the rough-looking areas. You'll see a lot of red, so we've tended to move our allocation down to 0 and stay away from this area due to the amount of red that's showing up. When that starts to turn green, we'll most likely be allocating back to this category. Down below, we're seeing that we have a 5% allocation in this growth and income fund. We're seeing a green light and a red light here. So this week I'm going to go ahead and elect to change the allocation to 0, so I'm going to move that over to one of the safer funds that has been performing well, and that is down here. We're going to change this allocation to the media. We're going to go ahead and move that. Oh, actually, let's go right here. This one's been increasing, so let's go here. We're going to take our 5% allocation and we're going to move that to 10%. So we'll increase that amount, and we can see that we still have a 10% or 100% invested in this in our overall funds. Let's continue to go down. We'll look at our U.S. equity funds. We have a 30% allocation, and let's see where we're invested right now. We have 20% in this fund with a green light and a green light, so there's nothing to do. We have a 10% allocation. Again, we have a green light and a green light, so we're fine just sitting in this fund. As we go down to the international funds, we see a similar situation where we have a 30% allocation. 20% is invested. It's bullish and a green light to the right. As is the 10% allocation, it's bullish on the left, bullish on the right. So we're looking just fine in that asset allocation. The next category we're looking at, we have a 15% allocated to the sector fund, and because we found this is one of the stronger areas to be in, we actually have an over allocation to this as we move the 5% out of our growth and income, and we increased the amount that we have in our financial services to 10%. So we now have 20% invested in the growth and income, or in the sector funds. And that's what we do. That's the only change that we needed to make for this week. I hope the demonstration was simple and easy, showed you how you can use this spreadsheet to make investment choices without a lot of research. And the way this is designed is to keep you in the stronger funds and give you a signal when your funds are underperforming the market. Let's go ahead and go back to our worksheet. And see, that's what I have for tonight. I hope it's been helpful and gives you some ideas and resources for managing your 401k choices. To find out more how the Greenlight Investor can help make sense of your 401k allocations, simply visit our website, or you can always send me an email and I'd be happy to help go through this with you and help you make managing your 401k both a simple and easy process. Thank you for watching the video presentation this week. Have a great weekend.